Hey everyone, it's Ken with Ken's Creations. Well, I want to do a quick video on how to show you how you can create your own gift boxes and how you can do it using the Cricut Explorer. So in this video, I'm going to show you where you can find the templates for this, how you can get them to work with your Cricut Explorer and Design Space. And some of you are going to say it is a little bit of a clunky process, but it will work. So let me go ahead and show you the website where you can get these at and how you can get it to work using the attach feature. So let's go ahead and get started. So to make these boxes, we're going to go to a website called www.templatemaker.nl. And on this website, you're going to see there is a wide variety of template of boxes and stars and cones. You have a whole bunch of different options. The one that I'm going to use for today's demonstration is just this little gift box. And we are going to go ahead and select the More Options button. Now on this template here, you have a couple options. You have your units of measurement, which is in inches, centimeters, or millimeters. Now you can pick how big you want the box. Now keep in mind, when we import this into Design Space, we're going to resize it anyways. So I'm not as worried about our measurement at this point. You also get to choose how big you want your tuck, your glue space. You get to choose your rounded corner space. And then you also get to choose your file format as PDF or SVG. Now, when I originally did this, I chose SVG and hit create because I thought this is amazing. Cricut Design Space lets us import as SVGs, so this is great. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save it as an SVG, I'm going to go ahead and save that, and then I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space, I'm going to upload this file, and I'm going to go ahead and do an SVG upload. Now, the problem is immediately it told me that this was a text element and it had some issues. I still said, well, let's give it a go, and I hit Save Image. And this is what happened. Even though it let me save it, it let me choose it, and it let me bring it into session, the problem was I could size it, I could draw a box around it, and I could even attach it. But when I hit go, watch what happened. For whatever reason, it drew these huge lines around it. Now, I've already reported this to Cricut, and I've reached out to colleagues, I've reached out to friends. I'm not sure what the problem was, and no one's been able to give me an answer yet, but I do have people looking into it. However, I was able to find a workaround for this, and I'm going to show you what I did. So what we're going to do is, instead of hitting SVG, we're going to hit PDF. We're going to go ahead and hit create, and it's going to bring up a PDF of this file. And there you have it. We're going to hit this little magnifying glass here, and that's going to bring up an image of our box. Now on the Mac, you're going to go ahead and hit Command-Shift-4, and it's going to bring up this little bullseye thing. And you're going to draw a box just around the image of the box, and you're going to hit it. Here, take a screenshot. Now, if you are using a Windows, I provided you a link below this video on how to take a screenshot. But the easiest way if you're using Windows 8 is to hit your Windows key and print screen, and that will also take a screenshot and save it to your computer. Now, by taking that screenshot, what that did is that saved a screenshot to my computer. Now I can go to Upload Image. I can do a basic upload. I can browse for that screenshot, which is right here. And this is a simple image because there's not much to it besides just these lines, as you can see. I'm going to use the magic wand to get rid of all of the white around my box and hit continue to step 3 and save the image. Now it's going to save this image as a black line, or black box, which is fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to insert this image and we're going to immediately change this black box to a white box. Now, as you can see, by doing this, it got rid of our score lines, which is okay, because we're going to go ahead now and add our own score lines. And how you're going to do that is by going to Insert Images, and you're going to search Score Line. You're going to hit the little search box, and that's going to bring up the free score line that Cricut has given you in Cricut Design Space. You're going to put a check mark, hit Insert Image, and that's going to give you your score line. And now we can move this and start adding our score line into our image. I'm going to rotate this guy, and the first one we need to add to is right along here. So I'm going to go ahead and move this guy right here, lining it up, and we do need to shorten this one just a tad. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to move it to where this side lines up right about there, and then I'm going to go ahead and move this guy down a little bit. That needs to be moved a little bit because I don't have it all the way down where I need to. Now I have this one still brought up, so I can keep going back and forth to this one just to make sure I get all my score lines. Now I can either keep going to Insert Image and keep inserting the score line, or I can select the score line that I just used and go to this Layers function and hit Duplicate. And that's going to give me another score line. And that's what I usually like to do. And then I'm just going to go to my next area that I need my score line, and then just continue to follow the process until I've inserted all of the score lines that I need in my project. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until I have finished this project and I'm ready to cut. So I'm just going to keep following the process by looking at the original one to give me an idea of what I need to do until I'm ready to cut this project, and then we'll go ahead and cut the project. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now that all my score lines are on there, and you can take a look by referring back to your last one here, and you can just make sure all of your score lines are there. The last thing you need to do is you do need to draw a box around your entire box here, and you need to go to your Layers tab and hit Attach, and that's very important. If you don't do that, it is going to do all of your score lines separate from your box, which you do not want to do. Now that you've done this, you can go ahead and move your box and everything will stay nice and attached. Now we can go ahead and size the box to whatever size we'd like it to be. And I want my box to be a fairly small box since I'm putting Hershey Kisses in it. And I'm going to go ahead and make it about 11 inches. And if I hit go, it's going to go ahead and put it on my mat. And that looks about good. And as you can see, I got a little bit of a red, so I'm going to move it around. That red box there meant it is a little bit, it was outside of where it needed to be. So I needed to move it a little bit in on the mat. So I am ready to cut this. I'm going to go ahead and lay my paper on the mat, and let's go ahead and see how this cuts. Alright, so we have the scoring tool in there. So it is scoring, as you can see. And then I have my blade in there. So this is one thing I love about the Cricut Explore, is the ability to do both at the same time. So there it is scoring all those score lines that we just put in. It's doing a double score, and then it's going to go ahead and cut out the design. And then we'll go ahead and put this box together. great thing is I don't have to change tools. It does it at the same time. And as you can tell, it is nice and quiet. And here it goes, cutting the box. All in one pass. I don't have to stop the machine. I don't have to do anything. It does it all for me. No need to change out the blade. No need to change out the scoring tool. All in one nice swipe. Alright, let's see how it turned out. So there is the design all cut out and scored. So there, as you can see, the score did a great job. And now all I need to do is add my glue and go ahead and glue it together. It did a great job on the scoring, as you can see there. I barely had to do anything. What I love about this compared to other scoring is some of the other scoring tools out there, or I should say machines, actually do little cuts. And sometimes when it does that, it actually rips the paper when it does this. This actually does a nice score, and there is no dashes or cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this together, and we'll take a look at the final product. So here is the finished box right here. This was a super easy project to make. All we had to do was go to that website, take a screenshot, import it into Design Space, and it did the rest for us. I know some of you are a little scared of the score lines, but I'm telling you, once you get it down and use that attach feature, it is so simple. And Design Space and the Cricut Explorer did everything else for us. That's what I love about this design program and this machine. It really does all of the thinking for us to where we can do all of the designing. And speaking of designing, all I did on this box is I added a little bit of ribbon along the bottom, added a bow on the top, and I added a little adore button right here. As for the inside, I'm going to add some Hershey Kisses so I can give it to the person I truly do adore. So this box was super fun to make, but don't forget that website had tons of other stuff. They had some envelopes, they had a heart trinket box, they had some cones, they had some really fun designs, so make sure you check it out. It's all free, doesn't cost anything, and it's easy to import into Design Space. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my blog, which is www.creativeken.blogspot.com. Make sure you're following that blog by hitting the follow button. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of my Cricut Design Space or Cricut Explore tips. Make sure you're following my Twitter page, my Facebook page, and my Pinterest page. Basically, make sure you follow me any place you can on the internet. Alright guys, thank you so much. Make sure to go out there, create something magical. I love and adore every single one of you. Have an amazing day.